hold on to your seat because I'm reviewing a monster book. Hi folks, Old Man Grognard here, and this is the debut of a new show, sort of a spin-off of Old Man Grognard called Old Man Grognard Reviews. I'm going to be reviewing, what have you. I just wanted to break it away from the normal show so I can give you more game design and not so much go out and buy this stuff. And also, I wanted to be able to review like the smaller things, the adventures, the supplements, the things like that. Things you find on Drive-Thru-RPG, things like that, and other things that are out there that maybe people don't know about. And we're going to start with this bad boy here. I hate to start with an expensive one, but Tome of Horrors Complete by Frog God Games. Now, the title's a bit of a misnomer. It was complete when it came out in 2011, but they have since brought out a Tome of Horrors 4. So it's the Tome of Horrors Complete as of 2011. But that don't matter. Look at this thing. I mean, my God. Right here, it is 673 pages of solid monster stuff. Now, I got the Swords and Wizardry version. There's also a Pathfinder version out there, which is one thing I like about Frog God. They're very versatile. They put out Swords and Wizardry, but they don't mind putting out stuff for Pathfinder either. And I've seen they're starting to put out stuff for 5e too. So, now let's see. Let's break it down a bit here. Okay, Greg Vaughn was the lead designer. Also, Matt Finch, Scott Green, Clark Peterson, and Bill Webb were the main designers, and they have a whole slew of other people that helped them. Layout and design was Charles Wright, with a lot of good artists in there. They've got some beautiful artwork. You'll see that in a moment. And it's a sight to behold. Monsters on monsters. Now, let me give you a little background on this one. Okay, as we know, Frog God Games, back in the D20 era, the 335 era, was known as Necromancer Games. And when D&D moved on, I don't know the exact circumstances, but Necromancer Games was no more. They put out a lot of good stuff for 3rd edition, but they were no more. When 4th edition came out, and when the OSR started as a reaction to 4th edition, Frog God Games came back. Some of the guys with Necromancer Games got together and decided, hey, we want all this new Necromancer, old Necromancer stuff and new stuff, but we want to be able to play it with the old school stuff. So they came out, they started Frog God Games, and they've just come out with tons of good stuff. And this is one of the best ones. And I'll show you why right now. Here's the first entry in the book. It's the Aberrant. I love this, the way they got it laid out. Simple stats, description, and every single monster in there has a story hook. Look at that. Now, caveat emptor on this, the Pathfinder edition does not have these story hooks for every monster, but Frog God Games has put out a PDF with all that story hook stuff in it that you can get on their website. I believe it's free. I'm not sure. And that was, Aberrant. And so if some of the stuff seems familiar, because this is how they broke it down. Everybody liked Tome of Horrors 1, 2, and 3 that came out for 3rd edition. And they said, okay, we want to redo it for OSR, which means they redid it for Swords and Wizardry. And the thing is, it's almost like a step backwards, but it's not, because they had to convert 3rd edition stats to OSR, Swords and Wizardry stats. And so they basically converted all 3 books to Swords and Wizardry first before they put out the Pathfinder edition later. They started with Swords and Wizardry. But the nice thing is, they put a lot more monsters in here. They decided to put the 3 books in and then add more. Now, if a lot of those look familiar, because a lot of them, I mean a lot of them, were in the Fiend Folio. And it's nice to have, OSR stats. I mean, yeah, you can say, okay, well, you just go to the Fiend Folio in first edition. Well, this way, you've got like stats for if you're playing BX or Holmes or the Real Cyclopedia or something like that you don't have to convert for first edition. They're right here. It's really nice. And they've got, like I said, tons of stuff. They've got new monsters, a few new dragons, new giants, ghouls, and stuff you've never seen before. Some eldritch stuff too. So, it's a real big mixed bag. Here's one of my favorites. I've used these before. A bone cobbler. These guys are undead, I assume. That's the way I play them anyway. But they like to take bones and stuff and make sculpture. And they will kill you to get your bones and make sculpture. They are like the artisans of the undead world. And here's another one I really like. Ghoul Sturges. They are Sturges who are undead that have the paralyzation power of ghouls. So if you're a party, there's a bunch of Sturges in there. Oh, no, okay, we just avoid them, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, you get stung once, you're stuck. You're really stuck because they will paralyze you and then just sit there and feed. There's also another monster in here that I don't have a picture for called Tokis. And what they are is they're mummies with full mummy powers, but they're 5 inches tall. I love to have them ambush, like a group of them ambush players. Because you usually see a mummy come, or the faster mummies from the Hammer horror films. But these guys, you'll walk in the room, if they'll be like on the door jamb on the inside of the door, wait for you to walk up and then jump on your backs. Stuff like that. And the book is jam-packed with stuff like this. You cannot go wrong buying a book like that, which brings me to the price problem. I'm going to say the price, I don't know if it's a price problem, but it's a price concern. Here's the thing with Frog God Games. I love those guys to death. I like Swords and Wizardry. Hell, I backed their Kickstarter for the 3rd edition. But they're expensive. This book retails for $100, $99.95. If you want to buy the PDF instead, that's $29.95, $29.99. So this is the kind of thing I buy at like conventions when I've saved up my money. Like the Tome of Horrors 4 that came out, $50. There's another one out there they just got, they released called Monstrosities, which I'm dying to get. It's about $50. And I'm always like one book behind from what they're releasing. But I tell you, it's worth the money. You get what you pay for because it's great writing. And if you can't get any ideas out of this book, you just hang up your dice bag, really. But like I said, it's an expense worth saving up for as far as I'm concerned. They also have 3 appendixes in the back. One is for regular creatures like, wolves, bears, dogs, lions, whatever, horses. The second one and the third one is monster. Appendix A is normal creatures, like I said. Appendix C is monster by challenge level if you use that in your game. But Appendix B, they put in a whole race, the Nagatu, which I'm not sure where they came from. I don't know if they made them up and put them in there or they got them from something else. But they're interplanar creatures. There's a whole mess of them in the back. So if you're playing like Planescape or something else like that, you're planeswalking, you can run into these things. Oh, they have a whole host in the main section, a whole big old host of demons and devils, and Orcus makes an appearance. I love that because I love Orcus as the big bad. Because first of all, I like undead. I just like using them. I'm down on zombies unless they're played my way. Unless I use my zombies, which go back to the Haitian tradition of They're dead people you dig up and bring to life. There's no disease. There's no infection or anything like that. And they don't eat brains. What they do is what you tell them to do. And if you want them to go over and get these things from a warehouse and come back, they'll do it. If they want you to go kill those player characters, they will go do that. But they don't eat brains. They're the basic, go back to the Haitian tradition. So that's why that's one of the reasons I like orcas, because I like to fool around with the not fool around, but not like that, you dirty mind. I like to use the undead in games because they're not quite what you'd expect sometimes. But anyway, go out, get this book. Get this book if you can. You can get the Swords of Wizardry or the Pathfinder edition, either one. Check it out. You'll love it. So next time I'll have another review. And so until then, keep gaming and bye-bye.